We're trying to do this live. Go live all day. It ain't gonna let me do it. Let's see if it's gonna let me do it. Okay. So it's day 88. Outside City Hall. My whole hood is froze. My hood is frozen. Alright. So, yes, we still are outside of City Hall. We still here. Who is behind me? It's no problem. We still out here. It's snowing. Had to cover up everything, all the donations, all the stuff we've been giving out to the community. It's all covered up back over there. There's some barricades. Hold on. There's barricades that used to be right here that the city of Rockford put up. They designated this a protest zone. They picked those barricades up this afternoon. So no more barricades. They've been plowing. The snow built up. Everything that's inside the canopy is all wet. The mosquito and stuff is all covered up. Everything is all wet. Blankets all wet. Look, shirts is all wet, frozen. So we still out here. Okay. Now, I don't know if this tablet might die out over. What you do? Alright, anyways. We still going forward with the event tomorrow. We still having the memorial for Kerry Blake, who was killed 2 years ago by the Rockford Police Department. I think that is very ironic that almost 2 years to the day that Kerry Blake, a black man who did not have any kind of guns, almost 2 years to the date of which the police department cannot find a way to bring him, to get him out of the situation alive and in one piece. They found a way to get out. They found a way to get a mass shooter out of the situation alive and in one piece. And one of the other things I want to highlight is it's unfortunate that through this year it was so much division between the black community on some of these issues. One of the things that I named this white snow, white shooters, white privilege. One of the things that white people have the privilege of doing is white people have the privilege of being able to be publicly divided on issues because they had a majority. Excuse me, they had the ability to be publicly divided on issues because they had a majority. And one of the things that we don't have the privilege of doing in the community of Rockford is being publicly divided on these issues that affect us predominantly. And you can go through and look and you can find all the names of people who have been shot and murdered by the police or died in custody of the police, and a high number of them are black. Way disproportionate to what we represent as far as the demographic in the city. We represent 14-15% of the city of Rockford, and we represent over 80% of the police murders or in custody deaths. We can no longer, as black people, and I hope please share this too, man. I hope people really are paying attention to some of these things that's been going on in the city. We can no longer afford as black people to allow the argument of what somebody did before the police came into the situation to determine how the police treat them in a situation. Because that's not how it happened for white people. That's how it happened for black people. That's how it happened for black people. So I say that to say we have to remove this idea that if someone is being accused of a robbery or accused of selling drugs or accused of a murder or accused of any other crime that you do not agree with ethically or morally, you have to remove that from the situation once the police department gets involved. It's the police department job to apprehend and bring somebody into custody. That's it. It's not their job to be the judge, jury, and executioner. And it's only with black and brown bodies that they take it upon themselves to be judge, jury, and executioner like this. Especially in Rockford. There's been multiple. Think about the cop that the man shot a cop. This was some years ago or last year. I don't know how many years ago it was. Excuse me. Man shot a cop. Went into one of them hotels. They brought that man out. They brought that white man out alive. He stood trial. How many black men have been shot for running in Rockford? Or how many black men have been shot for resisting in Rockford without even having a weapon? We don't even live in a city where a lot of these cases are, somebody got a gun or somebody got a knife like in some other cities. The majority of the cases in Rockford are unarmed black men being lynched in the streets and there being no consequence for it. Look, I got too far. I'm about to walk. I'm gonna walk back out City Hall. So, to people who, this is why, and then for people who maybe don't understand why me and some of the other people are still outside of City Hall, I want every day that passes for as long as possible. Every time people go through something or something happened in this city or something happened in this nation, I want them to know that we still outside of City Hall while it's happening. And I want them to think and know that the family of Tyrus Jones himself and the family of Tyrus Jones, not only are they going through whatever it is that we going through locally and we going through nationally, but they also going through the trauma of having someone that they care about be gunned down in the streets and the person who did it be told that they did the right thing. So right now, like how it's snow everywhere and it's snowed in and it's messing up your plans, Tyrus Jones' family plans messed up. Javon family plans messed up. Mark Barmore family plans messed up. Eddie Patterson, Kerry Blake, Logan Bell, all of their family's plans is messed up. They got to deal with all this snow. And on top of that, they still dealing with the trauma of their family being murdered by the police department and there being no justice for it. And every time it snow during the winter, or it get nice during the spring, or when a white man shoot up a public place and get brought in safely, and the next time a black person gets hit by the police department, I want people to remember we still outside City Hall. Tyrus Jones still got shot on October 2nd. The police officer who shot Tyrus Jones is still collecting paychecks. He's back to work. None of the officers who have murdered any of these people or have been responsible for any of their deaths have been reprimanded or removed from the police department. They still collecting checks. They still working. That's white privilege. And as black officers, I want to make sure this is understood too. Black people can enjoy white privilege. I went to kindergarten through 6th grade. I went to private school. My mom worked 2-3 jobs. Did everything she could to put me through private school for them years, financially. I enjoyed white privilege by being at those schools. I was privileged in a way that some people of my ethnicity and my color and from my community that was the same age wasn't privileged, who may have went to public schools and had public education. And I was in a school that was predominantly white. So predominantly white teachers, predominantly white curriculum.